You heard it. Of course you heard it. You were standing right there. But something in your brain made a very quick calculation, the kind that happens in milliseconds, below the level of conscious thought. And the answer came back, not my problem right now. So you kept scrolling, kept stirring, kept staring at absolutely nothing with the focused intensity of someone who is definitely not home. And you waited. Today we're talking about the parenting skill nobody puts on their CV, but every single parent has mastered. The strategic non-response. The selective hearing. The "I didn't hear anything" that you and your child and your partner and God Himself all know is a complete lie. If that's you, you're in good company. Very, very large company. It starts innocently enough. In the beginning, you hear everything. A slight change in breathing from the next room at 2 a.m., and you're already out of bed, moving before you're even awake. Your nervous system is fully recalibrated to respond to the smallest possible signal from the smallest possible human. You are alert. You are present. You are ready. And then somewhere around month 14, something shifts. Not because you love them less, not because you're a bad parent, but because your brain, in its infinite wisdom, has started to triage. That cry means something is wrong. That cry means they're tired. That cry means they want something they cannot have, and no force on earth will change that outcome. So why exactly are we both running? You have developed, without meaning to, a filing system. And "Mama" at a medium volume with no immediate follow-up distress signal? That goes in the folder labeled, "Give it a moment." Parenting hack number 1. Can't tell if your kid actually needs you or just wants to tell you something about Minecraft for the 14th time today. Wait 3 seconds. If the volume increases, it's real. If it doesn't, congratulations, you just bought yourself another minute. But then there's the other kind of not hearing. The kind where you heard it perfectly, crystal clear. You could repeat it back word for word. You know exactly what they want, where it is, and that you are entirely capable of getting it. And you choose, with full awareness and zero regret, to hear nothing. This is the advanced technique. This is what parenting looks like after years in the field. You're sitting down for the first time in 4 hours. You have a hot drink that is somehow still hot. You are reading something, or watching something, or doing nothing, which is its own sacred act. And from the other room, "Dad! Dad! Dad!" And you think, your mother is also in this house. You think, you have 2 legs and know where things are. You think, this is not an emergency. I know what an emergency sounds like. This is not it. So you say nothing. You do nothing. You take a slow sip of your drink, and you stare straight ahead like a man who has made peace with his choices. And you wait to see if the other parent breaks first. Parenting hack number 2. The key to successful strategic non-hearing is commitment. The moment you make eye contact, it's over. Stare at a fixed point somewhere in the middle distance and breathe normally. You're not ignoring anyone. You're just elsewhere. Which brings us to the dynamic nobody talks about openly, but every couple with kids understands implicitly. The hearing game is not played alone. It is a 2-person sport. At some point in your parenting relationship, you and your partner have developed, without ever discussing it, without a single conversation, through pure evolutionary pressure, a system. The system is simple. Whoever breaks first deals with it. And so begins the silent standoff. You both heard it. You both know you heard it. You are sitting in the same room, possibly on the same couch, and neither of you is moving. The child calls again, slightly louder. Neither of you speaks. Neither of you looks at the other. Because eye contact is a trap. Eye contact is an acknowledgement that you are both conscious and present, and then someone has to go. You study your phone with academic intensity. Your partner develops a sudden and very convincing interest in the ceiling. The child reaches full volume. And one of you, and it is always one of you, it is statistically never both of you simultaneously, sighs, puts down whatever they were holding, and goes. The other one stays very, very still and says nothing, because what is there to say? Parenting hack number 3. Lost the hearing game too many times this week? Establish a formal rotation system. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is yours. Tuesday, Thursday is theirs. Weekends are a lawless hellscape where the system breaks down completely and everyone is on their own. And then there are the times you get it wrong. Not dangerously wrong. Nobody is calling emergency services. But wrong enough that you have to stand there for a moment, looking at the situation, and quietly accept that this one is on you. Because the system is not foolproof. The triage system you have spent years developing is based on pattern recognition, and patterns are not guarantees. Sometimes the medium volume, "Mama," with no immediate follow-up distress signal, is not, in fact, a request for a snack or a question about why clouds exist. Sometimes it is a child who has found a permanent marker. Sometimes it is a child who has decided to pour their own juice. Sometimes it is a child who needed help with something small, didn't get it, and then took the initiative to solve the problem themselves. Children solving problems themselves sounds wonderful in theory. In practice, it looks like this. You walk in, you assess. You do the very specific mental calculation of how long this took versus how long ago you heard your name, and the math is not in your favor. You say nothing. There is nothing useful to say. You get the cloth, or the scissors, or whatever implement is required to address the initiative your child has shown today. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a small voice notes that perhaps, a faster response time might occasionally be warranted. You file that thought away. You will forget it within the hour. Parenting hack number 4. Can't tell which calls require immediate action and which don't? Simple rule. If it's been quiet for more than 90 seconds after they called you, go check. Silence is never actually fine. You know this. You've always known this. You are not a bad parent for pretending not to hear sometimes. You are a person who has been called upon, constantly, by someone who needs everything from you. And occasionally, your brain just quietly closes the tab. That's not neglect. That's load management. The kids are fine. They found what they were looking for, or they gave up, or they asked the other parent, which was the correct move from the beginning. And tomorrow, you'll hear everything. You'll respond immediately, every time, with full presence and unlimited patience. Or you won't. Either way, you're in good company. Every parent ever has done this. Every single one.